And we are live with the fourth game of the day, and unfortunately no picks and bans once again, but we have a treat for you and Shadowboy especially. There's a Zeus in the game, and there's a bit of an oddball team comp here with this lineup on the side of Team Illusion.
Oh, so you guys can go ahead, everyone in the audience, go ahead and grab your ticket for the Zeus hype train. It's about to take off here soon. We will be arriving in Pound Town here in a couple of minutes.
I mean, to be fair, we've seen some fairly lackluster games from Zeus over North American Challenger Cups, but I mean, overall, Zeus has had a very, very strong showing in Challengers Cup, and in every game in general. He just hurts so much, and his zone potential is just absolutely insane. There's a good reason you call it the Zeus hype train, just death.
I mean, yeah, like basically what you said. If you look at Zeus overall as a character, he still has a lot of damage. He still has a lot of potential, but right now the other side of the map looks like they still want to try and go for something extremely aggressive, and it looks like they're not going to get an easy opportunity. Xing as well as Aphrodite being very cautious about how they approach things. They knew that there was a potential of an invade, and they handled it appropriately.
And they knew exactly what was going to happen. They spotted it on a ward as well, and actually they might secure the buff here. Blue buff actually goes the way of, well, Team Illusion here, but at what cost? The question, Kazpu, he went for the hammer swing instead for the teleport there, so he's got to play this one safe. He's got no way out. Ressu will be safe and sound for now, but Kazpu gonna get that wave cleared out with his hammer swing right there. Milner's Attunement doing fine work clearing out that wave, and now Ducky going to be down a blue buff here.
Yeah, Ducky's going to be down a blue buff, and Thor going to be sitting on his own, on a blue buff of his own, and still have the one back in his own person. Odin, coming over to the mid camps, is going to be able to start clearing those out. Not going to have Zeus. Oh no.
Looks like we're in for a treat in this game, Shadowboy, as it is back in full force. So, ladies and gentlemen, get your seatbelts ready. The Zeus train just hit turbulence.
Zeus train didn't hit turbulence. That's the replay train.
I mean, we went through. The replay train went right into a wall at this point. We are currently in the middle of a wreck.
So basically, but you know, another thing I'm excited for is this is the very like one of the first few wombo combo, you know, team compositions, because you've got the Odin Zeus. I mean, that used to be the thing.
The original combo right there.
Yeah, like release tournament, this was the thing. This was the wombo combo, and I actually remember seeing a game that tried to do it, failed miserably. Like, I'm not going to go ahead and give you the illusion that it did great, but it failed miserably. Arena, though, this was the stuff. You brought this into Arena, you were considered a dirty tryhard. But speaking of dirty tryhards, it looks like they wanted to try for something over in the solo lane, maybe, but no, I'm just going to go ahead, clear out the blue buff, and start to make his way around the map. Thor, of course, going back over to get his second blue buff after his first one just expired.
And so far, so good. Team Illusion doing a great job of just setting the pace of this game. We've got Ressu being very, very aggressive on Odin, constantly going to where he wants to go, setting up the fight here, going for these mid camps, and just making sure that he's the one who decides how this game plays out. At the same time, Kazpu, he's got two blue buffs, and he's doing a fine job versus Aphrodite in this matchup here. He's got no major sustain, but like I said, potions there will solve that, and so far he's doing a nice job just clearing out the wave without too much threat. So all in all, Team Illusion just setting the pace for the game, and that's one of the ways you run away with the game as an Odin. You take control and you don't ever relinquish it. Especially considering the fact that you've got a Kali ADC, and if you have control of the pace, they cannot aggress onto her.
Okay, well, I mean, this whole team comp is weird if we're going to be honest. There's a Thor in the solo, a Kali in the ADC, and an Odin in the jungle. Like, that's not a very common team composition by any stretch of the imagination. However, Zeus going to be forced to back here soon. I'm interested to see where he puts his priority in terms of his build after his boots, which I'm not even sure if he's necessarily going to go for She's a Focus or the damage boots. Both are, in my opinion, very strong in their own right. She's a Focus, of course, you get more detonates, which is good. And then, of course, you know, if you go the route of more damage, then Chain Lightning is going to be a real pain in some small jungle fights. But Odin making his way with the dual lane, I'm expecting some pretty hefty plays over here. Is he going to be able to isolate a target? They're looking for the Guan Yu, and are they going to be able to isolate him? No, just barely off. Not going to be able to lock him in the cage and get anything done there. However, he's going to try him back. Not going to be allowed to do so. Going to just make his way back to his teammate to say, sorry guys, lag.
I mean, in this case, you can actually claim that, but unfortunately, they're not quite able to lock in the targets there. VWS did spot that one in command the last second was missing, like it was called, and it's usually at this point in the game you get a good idea. The game sense of a lot of these players is incredibly potent as well, as now Kazpu is going to be looking for a way out of this one. He's going to dunk down towards these mid camps as he's going to be safe and sound. Wlfy and friends a little bit late here as FleuryQ trying to find a way on through here. Ressu will finish clearing off these mid camps as well, and so far so good. Team Illusion still up in a small lead, and I'm pretty sure Xata on Zeus is quite happy about not being behind, taking a beating right now.
I think that Xata is also very happy. He hasn't seen a lot of pressure. I mean, we have yet to see the jungler on the side of VWS make a real push towards getting any kind of damage onto the Zeus. In fact, I don't think we've seen him at all.
Yeah, he hasn't. I mean, he's been farming like nonstop. He's been getting what he needs to do. He knows he's going to be that massive threat late game. He knows that once the fights break out, he needs to have as much money and experience as possible. So far, Xata hasn't only been called in by his team to do work, but you've got that bulldozer just pulling back the ball slowly but surely.
I meant the jungler on the side of VWS.
Sorry. I heard Xata when you said that. My bad.
Yeah, I was saying that no one's putting pressure on him. I haven't seen the enemy jungler.
Okay. Right,
Basically was what I was going for, but nonetheless, Guan kind of making his way around the map. I'm assuming he's looking for some kind of kill opportunity. In fact, he's...
It's going to be rough to find here.
Yeah.
It's going to be rough for like JacobHL to really find a kind of kill opportunity here as support right now. Ressu has a lot of ways out of this, unless I can actually land on the Xata, maybe? Because he's got the lowest mobility of the team comp. Then they're not going to find anything. Even Samsa, like, Xata or Samsa are the two targets you want to get to. The problem is, Samsa, if you end up playing into that situation, will just ulti and then turn around as Zeus will just fire off an ultimate and you're done. You catch Xata and you've got a massive cluster of T just collapsing on top of you right there. So VWS, it could be a no situation here, but they might find the win here as now seeing a fight break out. JacobHL trying to dive about inside the middle of a cage, but a cage match not going to end too well for him. At the same time, Kurko doesn't play safe here. Zigox diving for the fight here. He will find the bounce and he will find the kill, but at what cost is the question.
Whoa!
Here comes Zeus, ready for his first kill, but he's got no mana. This will be Zigox making the escape for now as FleuryQ coming in for a party, but nothing to really peel away with today. FleuryQ going to be late to the party. Will try to spin to win. Couldn't even find enough damage here. Ressu takes the dot, takes the tick. This is actually going to be a kill onto Ressu as one less auto attack. FleuryQ secures the kill, and that'll be VWS coming back in this one, taking the kill lead now as Team Illusion still hold a slight gold lead, but slight is more than enough at this point.
I mean, that was a pretty good fight, starting out by a Team Illusion, and unfortunately Zeus just had no mana, so you might go for some kind of regen item. Looks like the Chronos Pendant is going to be the call from him, unless this is a very, very early Rod Tahuti. You know, I'd be very surprised on that one, but nonetheless, Zeus still not at the point where he can do, you know, Zeus things just yet, and realistically speaking, most of the side of Team Illusion can't do their natural burst damage just yet. I mean, you think about it, they have a lot of late game bursts. They've got Zeus, they've got Kali, they've got Odin, not bursty, but he's going to be a tank presence later on in the game, and then of course Sylvanus, tank presence later on in the game. Really interested to see how Thor builds, and it looks like it's going to be the Pestilence coming out next. So they've got all these front bodies and then late game damage out the wazoo, but mid camps is going to be where the damage is falling through. That's going to be a lot of burst coming out into Zeus, and he's going to be taken out. Meanwhile, Odin trying to use the cage as some kind of means to help out, but it actually just secures his death as Ricochet is going to kill Odin. Now they're all VWS is in the middle lane, just pushing a little bit, trying to possibly get some damage in on this tower. I think they should have possibly went for the Gold Fury here. Tower a bit harder of an objective to just outright secure, especially with all that extra health, but now they're not really going to get anything out of it. In fact, they're just going to lose a little bit of health. Get some good damage on the tower nonetheless, but I think they really should have went for a different objective there.
Most likely the better call, but at the same time, still putting up some pressure here, and they've actually pulled ahead for a slight goldie now. So VWS are making a comeback here, and they've played fairly well after coming out of a rougher early game. The problem is they've got to find ways to start keeping up the shutdown here, making sure they can keep shutting down Zeus, and well, JacobHL doing exactly what his team needs to do. So if we can keep this up in these fights, he's going to be able to carry his team up past these fights. And Zigox had an absolute immaculate bounce to finish off Ressu, who trapped himself in a bit of a bad situation, like you said.
I mean, it happens. It's
Yeah.
funny. It's funny, but it happens. You know, then that's one of the downsides of being Odin is that if you don't have enough tankiness on you at the given point in time, you're basically looking at a bad situation for yourself. And the way he's building is indicating that he wants to go a lot of damage. So he's basically depending on his team to kill them before he gets killed. Now, granted, if he dies in the process, they get like say 2-3 kills. That's more than worth. But at the same time, you still would like to have your Odin alive in certain instances, even after the kills are all said and done. Especially when you consider how much utility his cage can be, not just to secure kills, but just to secure objectives. So locking people out of towers, locking people out of Wlfy, locking people out of Fire Giant, locking people out of anything, really. Because if you look on the other side, there is not a huge amount of options to get into something like that. But there's the Wombo combo coming out, and unfortunately Guan Yu's going to have to just sit in it. He's not going to be killed by the detonate. He's actually going to be killed by the tick from the Sylvanus. Thor going up into the air to try and land a kill onto the Zeus, or excuse me, land a kill onto one of the enemy team members who are chasing their Zeus, and they are able to get the Wlfy kill, but only after they lost their own mid laner. But the chase is still continuing on to FleuryQ, who is going to be saved by Aphrodite for the time being, and in fact, Kurko is going to be taken out. Thor is going to be forced to retreat, and now it looks like Team Illusion, even though they had a pretty decent start to that fight, is going to have to back off.
And they're going to back off entirely here. It doesn't seem like VWS are done just yet. They're putting up a ton of pressure on Team Illusion, and they're going to back off now. They put the pressure and the screws to this tower right now. Samsa and Kazpu have to be incredibly careful now. Zhong gets caught out quite hard right there. Takes a kiss, takes some bird, right into a back off here as FleuryQ simply flips over the cage right there before it can tick on through. And that'll be an almost catch there for Team Illusion, but unfortunately so falling short on these cages so far.
I mean, again, we saw some
combo earlier on, but
yeah, we saw a couple of lag issues earlier, so that might be a big factor there. I mean, we can't really say for sure just yet, you know, what the whole story is about these Odin cages sometimes, but I have to imagine that there's some latency issues that's impacting a couple of them.
Yeah, I don't think imagine there's almost every ability being played out here, so all in all, like I said before, you can't really get a good gauge on these teams so far, and a lot of these misplays could honestly be related to these issues so far. As I believe somebody said, this is about blinks every 5 seconds from time to time, so we'll see how this one keeps playing out now as VWS putting themselves into a lead this game. Only 600 gold, but a lead nonetheless, so you do have that morale victory right there. Team Illusion need to start finding some ways back into. Zeta has been getting absolutely crushed in these team fights. It's in VWS the story, just finding ways to break into the back line and just break it wide open once Zeus dies.
So Zeus not at that point just yet. He does have the Chrono Spinner online. I'm expecting some kind of penetration item next to really set the damage apart. Maybe a Spear of the Magus. I mean, you know, if you look at the builds across the board, there's not really a lot of magic defense just yet, but even still, being able to just cut through any natural defenses really makes a huge difference.
And that is the big thing here. Now a fight breaks out near the buff here. Samsa trying to lurk around here as you see somebody slip through a wall and then slip back out. Ressu does have a shield available for safety, so we'll see if the Lund is engaged for Team Illusion. VWS going to defend their buffs, the threat of violence. So all in all, VWS keeping control of the jungle, which is what they need to keep a hold of, and looking to keep control of as best they can. Get towards the gold tree and start setting up the full-on Vision Warriors.
Cage comes down, Ressu is in a bit of trouble.
Wlfy trying to survive now. FleuryQ doing it again. A huge pickup there. What a spin right there as Wlfy picks up one kill before falling. Zeta is the one to secure it, but everybody's health are so low. JacobHL riding on through. He can find a sunset later from the backside. We'll see Zigox find another kill. He's looking for more. He smells blood in the water and he's going full fury for it. FleuryQ will pick up a kill at the same time. That's a huge detonate from Zeta to pick up a quick victim in the form of JacobHL. But the rest of the team backing out the sides of VWS right here. FleuryQ trying to secure the safety, but Ducky, he's in deep. He's got a backup here coming through, but Kurko so low. We see Zigox doing the party here as the heal comes through, and Zigox bounces for a fight and a kill right there to Kurko. And now it seems there's one man left standing. Kazpu on the run. He's doing everything he can, but it's all over here as Team Illusion need to back off entirely. VWS going to most likely get the Gold Fury here as Kazpu only one around to defend it. He's got allies incoming, but Ressu, he's quite a bit of a ways away. Zigox tanking up the Gold Fury, but Now he's got to get some backup here soon enough. He's got to get linked up with somebody. Ressu joins the party, a dive bomb away to safety. This should prevent the Gold Fury for now, but Ressu still taking so much damage here. Wlfy trying to block here, but Zeus going to get caught with the backswing and the forward swing right there. Kazpu doing work here, but Mjona's attunement, he's got no way out. Now he's got the backup from, well, his support, and that might be enough here, but he's kissed out. He's going to be caught by the birds and pecked to death. Mjona's attunement will save him for the time being, but the dot will finish him off as Samsa doing what he can to cover the escape as Xata arrives to the party, but the party's all over. It's just the after party now, and it looks like it's an illusion for them.
And Illusion is not necessarily doing too well, but they still are relevant in gold. It's still really close in the gold numbers, believe it or not. I mean, even though it's looked completely in favor of one team, it's not actually that decided just yet. So the one thing I will say about this game is that the longer Team Illusion drags us out, the more likely they are to get a better display of damage, but they still have to keep conscious of the fact that they do have an Aphrodite on the other side, making their job a bit more difficult.
And difficulty is not 2-1 at all here. Now, Team Illusion, they've got that late game power, and they can run through. So VWS will be no slouches either. There's going to be a tough struggle, but they just need to keep staying relevant in gold. That's the one thing we preach constantly when you're able to hold up to this late game point. If you can stay relevant, you do have the better shot here. Sometimes you have to get something up, but otherwise, you just got to make sure that you're relevant and contesting the proper objective calls here. As now Gold Fury going to be warded up and de-awarded for Team Illusion here. VWS starting to apply their ward control trade right now, looking for controls of the tight spots, looking for controls of the hot spots, and they don't want to let Team Illusion get any kind of foothold here with sentry wards. As now, we'll see Ressu get in there to clear this ward out.
Oh, but overloaded Team Illusion on the left side of the map. They might try and jump on this purple buff. I don't know if they know it started, but no, instead they actually started to peek around the Gold Fury. A lot of investment over into the left side of the map, but not a lot of return. Some of these like heavy rotations need to be met with some kind of effort just to show presence. But hold on, speaking of showing presence, Xing trying to show a little bit in the mid lane, not able to grab Zeus up with his ultimate though. Beats was popped.
Beads popped, and it's going to be a nice big cooldown. That is a beads tier 1, as well as up to 180 seconds of no beads. And well, no beads against this comp. Xing has your number right now. JacobHL will dive on through and hunt you down. This is going to be a rough patch for Team Illusion. They're going to have to play it incredibly safe with one of their main carries being out of beads right now. As well, Xata has started to pick up kills here. He's got the damage in his corner now, so he does have some way of handling this, but VWS most likely will looking for some kind of heavy engagement right now.
VWS is over in the left side of the map trying to defend this Gold Fury that's being started up. Excuse me, VWS is trying to grab this Gold Fury and Team Illusion is trying to defend it, but they're not necessarily in the best of spots to do so. Have to approach this carefully, and it doesn't look like there's going to be any defense at all. In fact, that's just going to be a free Gold Fury over to the guys on VWS. That's really all there is to it, but Thor comes in, he's going to try and make the fight happen. There's the AoEs coming out. Zeus is 2 separated from the fight. He tries to get off an ultimate, but he's just going to get killed off before he's able to even do anything, and now the entirety of Team Illusion is just in a disarray, trying to find something. But again, because they're so disconnected, they weren't able to get off the damage in a reasonably efficient manner, and now they've lost the Gold Fury, they lost their Zeus, they've lost a lot for nothing.
And they can't afford to let Xata go unprotected in these fights. Right now, Kurko just doesn't deal the damage that he needs to for these fights. Thor has hit that power deficit where he just doesn't bring that early game damage like he used to anymore. And VWS, they're rising strong right now. Wlfy is at the point where protections will be massive, especially with the demon bag flowing. Zigox is going to be getting these massive bounces, especially in these tight corridors here. Ducky, he's got the healing flowing, and FleuryQ, like we saw in that fight, able to zone out 3 members and bring plenty of damage to boot as well. As VWS, they've all hit their strides right about now, and Team Illusion, while they're not hitting them either, they're letting too much go away, and Xata cannot die like that in these team fights. They cannot be pressured like that in these fights if they want to pull these through.
Yeah, I mean, they're still in a spot where they can win. It's not impossible for them, but they're starting to lose a bit more and more. The gold lead was maintained at around 1,000 for the longest time, but now we're sitting on about a 5k difference, and experience going to about 8.5k. They're really starting to lose a grip on this game, but Odin, over in the dual lane, going to try and give his team some time to get there and possibly get a kill on this whole U. He's just going to jump away, but this is another issue, is that even though they have the Wombo combo, they're not locking things down in a secure fashion right now.
Security is exactly what you need here. Is now Team Illusion will start to scout at the Gold Fury, but they'll find nothing there at all, unfortunately. Try and secure buffs here. They want some kind of advantage to really pull away from VWS, pull away something to even the odds here, but VWS have got a solid lead here and it's translating into items. Aphrodite does have that crown online right now, and her target is going to be near impossible to kill. FleuryQ, already difficult to kill, is going to be even worse to fight. He's got damage, he's got cooldown reduction, and now looking at Ducky as well, going toe-to-toe with Kazpu right there, and completely forcing him away here. And Kazpu hasn't even made a dent in his health bar. Kiss comes through, Dot will connect in the form of the bird. The back off, not quite landing their stun, will keep Ducky under tower for a few more seconds, but seconds aren't going to last that long when it comes to Aphrodite heals.
No, it's not going to matter too much when it comes to healing, but they're still trying to defend this right side tower, and Thor's teleport might have just signaled to the members of VWS Gaming a fight, and the Zeus Wombo combo comes out. Thor is going to have to use his ultimate to get in here. Meanwhile, FleuryQ able to get a kill on the Xata before he's able to even do anything. FleuryQ getting a double kill, getting another one onto the Sylvanus, and now Thor a little late to the party because he TP'd over to the other side of the map. Is going to be in an awkward spot and taken out quite decisively, and that's 3 for nothing going in favor of VWS Gaming after they thought they could at least mount a defense on Team Illusion.
Yeah, I think I can. Not quite working there, and Team Illusion going to be pushed back incredibly hard. The Fire Giant is likely a sure thing from VWS, but miracles can happen, but they're a little slow on the draw for this one. The Gold Fury isn't available. The Fire Giant falling fast. Ressu blinks in. He goes for it, but he's too late. VWS has secured it, and now Ressu going to fall very rapidly there. Zigox is the one to secure that kill, as it is now 16-6 here, 20 minutes in. Team Illusion down 7k, and what was a close game turns big here for VWS Gaming as they look to push on through. They've got a guaranteed tower most likely. There's Team Illusion cannot afford to safely defend these tier 2s here. The tier 1 especially, most of these towers are all but guaranteed to fall once this first Fire Giant gets picked up here. And VWS, they're going to be in a healthy place gold-wise after this.
No, more than healthy. They've got Fire Giant. They just took out a couple of towers. I mean, they've got this game in their hands, and it's all thanks to Jin Chan, who's just had a heck of a performance. 4-0-9. He's really been a large part of this victory for the guys on the side of Team VWS Gaming. Team Illusion, they've been really looking for this combo to work for them, but again, it's just not worked out.
It's not worked out in the slightest, but they gotta do whatever they can here, and unfortunately, I guess Xata just gets picked off so early, especially in that fight. He didn't even get a chance to detonate. He got the ultimate down, and he's fallen so far behind item-wise compared to his opponents that there's just not really much he can do here, as now Zigox will be looking for a fight in Ressu, but Ressu is pretty much worm food right there, as Zigox puts him under the dirt right now, and VWS looking to just wash on through this one, and it should be a tower guarantee. It's way too risky to defend these tier 1. We hit stasis, and if we don't leave it, I think we know what that means, Shadow Boy.
Yeah, I think VWS walked away with it. If we're sitting in stasis, I have to imagine that the team with Fire Giant and a darn near 10k gold lead is the winners. I'm feeling pretty confident in that gamble.
I'm feeling fairly confident in this one. We're going to try to get confirmation, but unfortunately, I think this one is a good game here. So, Shadow Boy, any final words on this one, as it looks like stasis mode is going to be sticking around?
I am still a part of the Zeus hype train.
You are still maintaining the Zeus hype train right there, as Xata, unfortunately, got ripped apart by VWS, and they played a very, very dive-centric game. They played very aggressively, and it worked wonders for them there. And unfortunately, Xata just got dove too deep one too many times in these fights. And even though Ressu made some fairly solid early game plays, he was all over the map, setting the pace of the game early on for Team Illusion. It just wasn't enough in the end, and VWS are the ones who walk away with this win in group stages, putting them at 2-1 in the first week, I believe.
Yeah, I think you're right on that one. No, wait, hold on. Going through memory. Well, we'll have to check.
They're at 1-1 currently, so winning this game puts them at 2-1.
Okay, yeah. So VWS Gaming doing a pretty good job so far. I do feel bad that there was a lot of latency issues for Team Illusion. Because looking at some of those Odin cages, not exactly sure.
We're so close a lot of the time.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure if that could have been impacted by, you know, the servers are not, but you know, sometimes that's just how it works out. I mean, you got to play with what you got. Both people had the same issue, so everyone was essentially on the same playing field.
Yeah, it's the same playing field, but it's not the playing field anybody wants to experience. The team comps that require those picture-perfect executions are much, much harder to execute on these moments. But unfortunately, we got to bring it back for the next game as we go into the sixth and final game of the Challengers Cup Week 1 of group stages. But we'll be right back with more games. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.